Hello gamers, today we do battle, 2 mice, 1 winner. I'm going to be comparing the new Fnatic Bolt and the Logitech G Pro SUPERLIGHT, and I'm going to put them head to head with each other. Who's going to win? I'll be comparing shapes, coating, stability and more in this intense and much anticipated mouse head to head. First of all, if you wish to buy these mice, there will be links in the description below, and like and subscribe. Round 1. Starting with the shape. The Fnatic Bolt comes in at 120.89mm long, 55.44mm wide and 38.53mm tall with a weight of 67 grams. And the SUPERLIGHT is 125mm long, 63.5mm wide and 40mm tall with a weight of 63 grams. The shapes between these two are different, and someone who might know what they're talking about already might already question why I'm comparing these two together. But this is more than just the shape. Watch the whole video, it might make more sense. Anyway, the Bolt is more suited to claw grip and it's its main intention, whereas the SUPERLIGHT aims to please everyone. I personally have to sway towards the SUPERLIGHT here just because I feel that it's far more comfortable to use as my hand relaxes on it nicely and it's completely supported. The right side of the Bolt leaves my pinky finger hanging a little bit more, that makes it slightly uncomfortable. So overall, the SUPERLIGHT has the superior shape. Round 2. The coating. For the coating, both of these mice have a matte texture. The Bolt is far more coarse than the SUPERLIGHT. Picking the best between these isn't easy. The SUPERLIGHT coating is softer and feels somewhat silky without being a glossy, sticky mess, whereas the Bolt's coating is rougher, a lot grippier, and it feels a little bit more high quality. With it being this close, I had to do my product research to help decide a winner. There have been multiple cases where the coating on the SUPERLIGHT starts wearing down, showing shiny spots, starts flaking, and more. Even though my SUPERLIGHT hasn't suffered from this, I have been very busy reviewing loads of mice, so it might be a case that I've just not used it enough myself. Regardless, because of this known defect, the Bolt wins the coat off, or the coat on. Anyway, it just wins this part. Round 3. The feet. Mouse feet are an important part of gaming mice these days as standards have been raised and compromises are no longer welcome. Both these mice are using untreated PTFE feet, so they are clean as they can be. The feet for the Bolt are tucked in slightly, so there isn't any exposed edges which could help it last a bit longer. However, the Bolt does lack a sensor ring. The SUPERLIGHT on the other hand has a sensor ring and a large PTFE pad on the top, which is where most of the pressure is applied from clicking, so it will hopefully reduce the effect of wear and tear over the other parts of the pad. So for this addition for me, it's got to be the SUPERLIGHT. A lacking sensor ring in this day and age. Remember, I did say no compromises, so the SUPERLIGHT wins. Round 4. Buttons and switches. For the buttons and switches, I'm mainly looking at reliability, feel and consistency on the mouse 1 and 2, the scroll wheel and also the side buttons. Just good mouse 1 and 2 switches are just not enough for me. I have high standards and they must be met. The SUPERLIGHT is soft around the whole mouse. The mouse 1 and 2 switches are using Omrons rated for around 20 million clicks. They are light to the touch and don't really have a nice crisp feel to them. The scroll wheel is the same. It's soft but not brilliant. The side buttons are also matching the softness around the mouse, with them feeling nice, but again it just feels like I'm caressing the mouse switches, not pressing them. It makes sense, trust me. The Bolt on the other hand, in comparison, is the definition of crispiness. Across the board, the whole thing is lovely. With KLGM 8.0s, which are rated for 80 million clicks, which is a bigger number than 20 million, you get a massive improvement on reliability. The scroll wheel is great and crispy, as are the side buttons, so in comparison, everything just feels crisp. So I'd honestly say the Bolt wins this round quite clearly. Round 5. Battery and wireless. Battery and wireless, there's a few personal things that I really want to add in this section mainly. Battery life, ease of charging, connectivity. I'll explain it a bit more in a moment. For sensor performance, I'm not really going to take into it that much because both of these mice have absolutely great sensors and it will just be down to more exact science that would separate the two. The SUPERLIGHT has a battery life of around about 70 hours, with the Fnatic Bolt having a battery life of 110 hours. Pretty impressive for the Bolt, I must say, and obviously bigger number does mean better. The other part is where the Bolt takes the lead. With a USB Type-C connector, which is a standard, you may not have many cables floating around, as a lot more of your electronics these days might use Type-C, which is a very, very good thing because it draws more power and you just have less cables flapping around. You don't even have to use the supply cable that comes with it that has a pronged port just to make sure it's a little bit more secure whilst charging. Compare that to the icky and stinky micro USB that the SUPERLIGHT is using, it's a bit of a travesty. But the other benefit as well is that you get an adapter for the dongle with the Bolt. which means you can have a cable nearby with the USB adapter and dongle connected, meaning that there's less distance between the two, so stronger connectivity, and also means that you don't have to go through the pain of trying to unplug the tiny dongle from the back of the PC when you need to. So overall, I would say the Bolt wins this one. Round 6, in-game use. For in-game, it mainly comes down to the comfort and shape side of things. I want to be able to grind for hours a day as I put myself through the intense pain of trying to get into Masters and Apex Legends but solo. For that I need something that is comfortable, and at this point it's the SUPERLIGHT that wins it. The shape being preferable for a palm grip is the most important thing for my aging hands. Even though the Bolt is very nice to hold, it just doesn't keep my hand in a natural shape, which is important because I'm not sure how long my hand can keep up with the abuse it receives. That's not to say after a long time that the Bolt starts feeling difficult to use. It still feels fine, it just doesn't feel as comfortable as the SUPERLIGHT. Round 7, the cost. So this is where the higher number doesn't actually mean the best anymore, with the Bolt coming in at €89, £79 or $89, and the SUPERLIGHT at €159, £139 or $159 at the time of recording this video, and it's their full retail prices, not including sales. It's clear to say that the Bolt wins this one. It's not like it's cheaping out either, it's still very well constructed, and obviously from this comparison it's pretty close in many ways to the SUPERLIGHT. In my full review I even mentioned how the build quality is top notch, so when taking into account the price, it really does push the SUPERLIGHT's face into the mud. So overall, if I base it on my arbitrary head-to-head comparison, it's the Bolt that comes out the winner. Naturally, with all the mice though, it's down to personal preference as the main factor. But if you enjoy the shapes of both of these mice and are unsure which one to choose from based on these two, then it's quite clear the fnatic Bolt is the winner. If though the shape is very important like it is to me, then maybe there would be a clear case of the SUPERLIGHT, unless you're able to change your grip to a claw grip, which is what the Bolt was mainly designed for. Despite this, it's amazing how there's more and more mice that are coming up to the level of the SUPERLIGHT, a mouse that really set a standard from a company that has somewhat been leading in the gamer mouse market for a while now. I'd never have guessed that the Bolt would be the one that would pretty much match it, and in some cases surpass it. So that's all for this comparison video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment if you enjoyed this video.